Guys, the God Valley hype train continues. Every moment that we stay in this flashback longer is a moment that I think to myself, wow, Oda is really in his bag. And I think that this chapter is still amazing, no doubt about it. However, there's certainly a tension that happens at the end of the chapter, and it's making people wonder, is he in his bag? We hope so. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. We're here to talk about the peak that is One Piece chapter 1163 reviewed. But before we get into it, y'all, you already know what to do. Drop the like on this video. It's like right there. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece reactions just like this every week. Well, every week that they come out. And share it around with all your friends who love the series. You know we always say here, let's get it going. Now when you first open this chapter, it's already reason to rejoice because the Yamato cover story is actually done. Which means we're going to be getting the cover art request for a while, and I just love seeing what kind of situations people get into. In this one, it's just Luffy palling around with a bunch of macaques, which I mean, it just makes sense. Now, where did we leave off 2 weeks ago? Oh yeah, IMU has descended on God Valley. You know the possession thing that she's doing with Gunko and Elbaf? Well, she's doing that with Saturn right now. And as everyone is just confused about, yo, what is this ability? What's going on? The first thing that IMU does is kill a bunch of Marines. Which is like, well, okay, but why? But I guess when you're the dark overlord of the entire world, you can kill who you want. The pirates that are around are like, wait, isn't this on their side? Why is it killing its own people? And then of course, Imu turns and starts to murk them off. As everyone is scrambling, trying to get off the island because too much crazy stuff is going on, we cut to Roger. And all I can say here is, yo, besides Roger, Rayleigh, and Gabon, Roger's crew are a bunch of bums. These two dudes, Rowing and Mugran, I believe they are just on the ground, just defeated already, with Roger just being like, yo, get a hold of yourselves, man, what is going on? And I'm not gonna lie, Roger, I have the same question. What is going on? So Roger's just like, yo, Gabon, I'm going on ahead. Please cover these guys, take the treasure, and get out of here. And Gabon is just like, oh my goodness, please don't do nothing crazy, okay? We don't want a repeat of what happened last time. Then you cut to Garp, who's also just like, yo, I need somebody to tell me immediately what the hell that thing is. And Garp is just frying it like, yep, Ian Maggot, look at him. He's the king of all of the Beatles. With all the Marines around him just being like, whoa, 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 if you say that, he's gonna attack you. As we're going to see very soon, Garp does not care. So then we cut back to Rox's perspective with Imu looming over him. And Rox is just like, if it isn't the Rat King himself. Anybody who's on One Piece YouTube knows this vernacular and knows that this is the key phrase of JD Legend. But Rox is just like, so you came to kill me in person? And Imu's like,
so, thou art the one, Davy Jones?
And then Rox is like, whoa, 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 that ain't me. I never met the guy. But even so, I think that there are promises that need to be kept. Which I guess just makes you think for a bit, I wonder what the promise the Davy clan made us. Maybe they're the ones who know the truth about the world, and because it got to Rox, that's how he knew that there was somebody in the flower room. But Imu just starts to vex. Imu's like,
that is why your ilk must be expunged from the world, whose world is incomplete if you're still in it.
And he goes to attack Rox with one of Saturn's spider appendages, but Rox just slashes it away. The Marines who see Rox attack are like, oh my goodness, he's actually attacking one of the overseers of the world. Should we provide backup? I don't know. And Rox just smirking is just like, hell yeah, we're gonna give him backup. And why does he look like this? Why his face saying, you don't know the trickery I'm about to do? Because even the other Marines are like, wait, I hear what you're saying, but from the way that you're saying it and the look on your face, it sounds like you may not be backing up who we think you're about to back up. So then we cut back to the pirates who are kind of doing a lot of infighting right now. We see some of the Roger pirates just hauling treasure back to their ship. I believe Don Kino is the name of the guy who's like pulling the cart. You got my fourth favorite Roger pirate member, Millet Pine, attacking with his huge mace. And I think that's Ariel on top, but again, I don't really care about him. And then we cut to Captain John, and as we see him, he's just drinking and asking his like little faction of people, yo, is everything ready? And as they confirm, he's like, great, time to say sayonara to the Rocks pirates. We see Dragon on the move, still with baby Shanks in hand, and he's heading towards a Navy ship with the plan to be to drop the baby on the ship. But suddenly he starts getting tugged back, and that's because of the metal that's in his rifle. In fact, it's crazy. All the metal in the surrounding area starts to get pulled towards the epicenter. And it's revealed that Captain John has used the move Big Eater to draw all the treasure towards him, as it is confirmed that he was the previous user of Kid's Jiki Jiki no Mi, This is so interesting because remember 2 chapters ago, we saw Captain John with what looked to be a kid robotic arm and everyone was like, surely he doesn't have this fruit. But yes, turns out he does. But then you have Gonzui appearing and it's just like, John, that traitor, picks a booger from his nose, holds it like this, and then uses a move called Sky Snake Red Cannon to fling it at him. And when it makes contact with John, it promptly explodes. Y'all, we've seen this before. It seems a lot like Gonzui was the previous user of Mr. Five's bomb fruit, and he converted his booger into a bomb that took out Captain John in one hit. Getting one shot by a booger is absolutely diabolical. And I just want you to know, everybody who's had this devil fruit has been absolutely trash. There is no way that the will of bum is actually a thing. Captain John one shot, Kid one shot, this is no, this is bad. If there were any Kid fans holding out hope for Kid, I just want you to know Oda does not care. Then you have Shiki pulling up and he's just like, yo, Gonzui, what you attacking John for? Gonzui's just like, you know that he wasn't about to share that with us. Each of those chests is estimated to be about 1 billion belly. And then, while Shiki's back is turned, Gonzui's just like, hey, listen, I mean, honestly, I can't even blame him for trying to hog it. That's what I'm trying to do type shit. And I'm not gonna lie, this is treacherous. Gonzui is actually a rat. Cause how is he gonna call John a snake for betraying them and then immediately betray them? But here we're seeing in full effect what Sengoku said is true. A large majority reason of the Rocks Pirates' downfall was all of the infighting that was happening. Members only caring about themselves, turning on each other. We see this on display. But now we get to the crazy part of the chapter. So you got Marines trying to hold Garp back as Garp wants to attack Imu because, well, he looks like a pest, I guess. Still waiting on Garp's actual reasoning. As Rox is seen attacking Imu, Kaido is just like, yo, Rox, hold up, let me get some. But that's when Big Mom comes back and is like, Kaido, you brat, I will kill you. Roger's also run in because he just dashed past the whole Captain John thing. Also, with Captain John defeated, that means that his powers turn off, obviously, so we see that Dragon falls down, but he's lost grip of Shanks and can't find him. And that's where we see baby Shanks actually just crawling into the treasure chest, which will eventually be found by the Roger Pirates. And what we have now may be one of the craziest double spreads I've ever seen. Because you have Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, Rox, Roger, and Garp all attacking Imu at the same time. Garp charges in with Galaxy Impact. Roger is using his box standard Divine Departure. We get a named move for Rox, Pandemonium, translated to like Curse of the Abyss or something like that. Whitebeard using a Quake Punch with Shattering Void. Big Mom is using her Ikoku Sovereignty that we know. And for Kaido, it's actually just really funny because he's charging up what we know to be a Boro Breath, but this is his first technique. He hasn't really named anything yet, so he just kind of blurts something out and he's just like, Dragon! Kaido, I know you can do better than that. So we see this absolutely demonstrably powerful combined attack from 6 Conqueror's Haki users. Whether Kaido knew how to do infusion at that point is debatable, but the rest of them 100% did. And it did nothing to Imu. Imu literally was like unfazed from the 6 strongest people in the verse after him at that time attacking him at the same time. Imu just elongates its body and just keeps slithering upwards. Also, at this point in time, I just like to say, is Imu actually just a shadow? Like, we thought that this was a silhouette, but it appeared in front of them literally in this form. Even when you cut him, his body doesn't actually, like, it isn't solid. But that's when Imu just starts rising. It's just like,
see them running away far into the forest, a woman and her child from the baby clan fleeing the scene. They must not be let loose.
And of course, he's talking about Eris and Teach. That makes Rox incredibly pissed, so he jumps up and tries to slash Imu. He literally bisects him into 3 parts. And again, Imu feels nothing. Imu like gathers these tendrils and stabs Rox through the body. And Imu's just like,
it shall not be Mu who exterminates them, but you.
While Rox is just like, are you stupid? I would never in a million years. And before he continues, Imu Domi reverses him. You see the demonization starting to take effect, and it really seems like what we're gearing towards is that Rox Domi Reversied is going to go after his family. And maybe that Domi Reversied Rox is who Garp and Roger end up fighting when they say that they teamed up to defeat Rox. Y'all, there's a lot of thoughts here, but the major one that I'm kind of worried about right now is the overpoweredness of Imu. Which is crazy to say because yes, IMU as the final villain should be crazy overpowered. But there's a certain way to write overpowered characters that I don't think IMU is tending towards right now. Now granted, we have to see how Oda continues to write this in the future. Maybe in the next few chapters we'll get a clearer picture of it. But from what it seems to me right now, IMU can just Domi Reversi anybody, which begs the question of why they don't just Domi Reversi anybody. Between Domi Reversi and Regen, we need to see some limits. Because if the 6 strongest people in the world coming together to attack you at once is like the same thing as fodder, then I don't know, dog. But also know that this was a very contentious point in the fan base when people were reading it on stream on Thursday. So I'm actually going to be dedicating a whole video to it next week. So definitely stay tuned for that. Now this chapter, regardless of that, is still actually really peak. The hype moments, the fights, the double page spread, personally, I'm giving it a 9. With the only thing docking it from a 10 being the fact that I am indeed worried about the way that the overpoweredness is going to be written. But of course, hey, I can always be wrong. I'll be the first to admit that. But what did you think about this chapter, y'all? Especially the end with the whole IMU thing and how overpowered they are. I'm genuinely curious where your thoughts fall on this, so definitely let me know in the comments. That is the end of the video, but before we go, like it, subscribe, and share it around with all your friends who love the series. I'm trying to build a community, but I need your help to do it. That's gonna be all for me. I'll catch you on the next one, and always remember, one piece, one life. Now if you'll excuse me, I gotta go do schoolwork. I got a lot of deadlines coming up.